I've seen a lot of people posting their bad first date stories on here, and I think I have a pretty good one, so I'm going to tell you all about it. So, this happened over the summer. I was out to dinner with some family friends, saw this very cute waiter at the restaurant, and I was feeling bold, so I slipped him my number. And we talked for a few days here and there, and then he said he wanted to take me out. So he comes to pick me up. We agreed that we wanted to go on like a little nature walk together and then like see where the day went. So he comes to pick me up, and when I get in the car, one of the first things he says to me is, even if this doesn't work out and you never want to see me again, I just want you to know how a man should treat you. So I should have just opened the door and gotten out and went back inside at this point, but I was sort of caught off guard, so I did not do that. So we get to where we're going for a walk, and it's like lightly raining at this point. And he's talked a lot already, like in the short amount of time, about how he used to live in California. And he's like, it never rains in sunny California. But like the way he said it, because he had also been talking about how he was like a writer and a poet, the way he said it made it seem like he wanted me to think that he came up with it. So when I said, oh, haha, like I like that song, he like got really weird and quiet. Like I wasn't supposed to know where it was from. So we're walking and talking. I could tell when I first saw him, like at the restaurant, that he was a little older than me. I thought he was maybe like late 20s, like 30 at most. And I was 23 at the time that this happened. But as we're walking, he tells me that he is 37. Which, I mean, he looked younger, so like good for him, but I was not expecting that at all. And I sort of knew from that point, okay, like there's just no way this is gonna work out, but I felt like I was in it at that point. So after we finish our little walk, he says he has somewhere else he wants to take me. So we get back in the car and we end up at this really cute, like old-timey little inn. And he's showing me around because it's where he used to work. So he knows it really well. He used to work at the restaurant in this inn. So he's showing me around, like we're walking around. It's like very cutesy, very historic. And then he takes me to the restaurant. And I think, oh, nice. We're going to have lunch together. No. He just takes me to the restaurant. We look around. He's like, yeah, I used to work here. And then we leave. So we get back in the car and he's like, I actually brought you something. I brought you a gift. And I'm like, oh, that's nice of you. What did you bring me? He's like, this is something all the way from California, and I just wanted you to have it. And he pulls out, like, I kid you not, like a 50-cent little, like, sticker. I'll put a picture of, like, kind of what it looked like, which is fine. Like, I don't expect gifts. Like, it's not that I, like, wanted him to get me something. It was just sort of the way he was hyping it up to be, like, this amazing thing, and it was, like, this little sticker that looked like a Canva design. And then as he's driving me home, he also says, I love that you have green eyes because I really want my kids to have green eyes. We just met, by the way. We just met. So yeah, I mean, he was driving me home because I had just made up an excuse that I had to go. I really couldn't take any more at that point. It was very weird, strange vibes. Yeah, never saw him again.
Hi guys, get ready with me while I tell you how I found out I was pregnant at 31 backwards. So, going back to July, me and my boyfriend at the time, I had my period for July, but then I didn't get it all the way until October, and that's when my mom started questioning things. So me and him broke up in August, but we would still talk sometimes, and we went to the same school, but he was in the high school and I was in the middle school, but they were right next to each other. And we would like sometimes see each other and talk, but we were still broken up. So he had been talking to somebody from August to like the endish of August, and we were kind of talking, but not really. And so going forward, I was moving and I was kind of having a hard time, and so we would talk more. Now going into October, the end of October, my mom had started asking when was her last period, this and that. And she was like putting it together, and I was only 90 pounds, like 6th grade to 8th grade. And so me only being 90 pounds, I had started gaining weight. And she was like, okay, why are you gaining all this weight? Like all of a sudden, like you've never gained weight like this, blah, blah, blah. And why are you like wanting to eat more and you're more tired, obviously. So her being the mom with her mom instincts, we went to Walmart on a Sunday, and she had suggested that I get a pregnancy test. Now I was like, no, like, because obviously I was like scared because I knew I hadn't gotten my period, so did she. But I was obviously more scared because I'm the one who didn't get my period, and I was scared about how she would react if I was. Okay, there's gonna have to be multiple parts, so go to part 2. Part 2 to how I found out I was pregnant at 31 backwards. So she had ended up getting me the pregnancy test anyways. And I was like, okay. So we got home and she took the test into her bathroom. And then we were still kind of just like sitting around for a little bit. So while we were sitting around, I was obviously thinking, oh, she's not gonna make me take it. She was just like doing that to maybe scare me or something. And then about like 20 minutes after I started thinking that, then she was like, okay, like come into my room with me, because we have to share a bathroom anyways, because I have roommates. And so I went into her bathroom and she's like, okay, we're gonna have you take the test. And I was like, oh, okay. And obviously I was still like terrified. So she's doing whatever she's doing in her room. She didn't watch me pee on the test because obviously that's a little weird. And she was doing her laundry in her room because her bathroom and room are connected. So I pee on the test. The test says wait like 2 minutes, I think, and pee on it for at least like 25 seconds or 10 seconds or something. And it was a first response test. So we followed the instructions, and I looked at it first, and I remember seeing the indicator line, which was like the line to show that it's working. And then the second line was like pretty, it was there, but in my head I was trying to make it seem like it was faint. Looking back now, yes, it was there. Very much. And so then my mom, she like got the test from my hand, and she looked at it and she was like, go get your dad. That's literally all she said. And she looked so mad. Mind you, she was not mad. Well, actually, I don't really know how she was feeling in that moment, but she wasn't mad. Okay, so I went and got my dad. He was sitting in the living room. And from what I know, he didn't know that I was taking the test. So I went and got him, and he goes into the bathroom. My mom shows him the test. Obviously, I'm freaking out because that's my dad, and I'm sorry. Like, I feel like anyone my age would be freaking out anyways. And I remember my mom asking him, so what do you think? Like, what do you think the test is? And he was like, I don't know, because he's a boy. So it had kind of gotten left that day, kind of got left alone. We didn't talk about it, none of that. Go to part 3.
You're about to get everything. I'm about to tell you everything. Here we go. So one day, me and my ex-boyfriend, who were super on and off all the fucking time, we had started talking again, but hadn't officially got back together. He texted me one day and told me that he was going bowling, and I was like, who are you going bowling with? Because like I said, we weren't fully together, but we're together enough where I can ask him who the fuck are you going bowling with? He said he's going with his guy friend, and I know his guy friend, and I'm just like, only them two going bowling? That's fucking, I'm not hearing that. So I'm just like, they are so full of shit. I decide to be like, you go bowling, you have fun, you do what you want to do. And then I text him and I'm like, so I thought you were just bowling with you and oops. Anyways, I thought you were so I'm like, I literally thought it was just gonna be you and your friend bowling. Why the fuck are you with some bitches? Mind you, I literally had no idea that he was even with anybody. I was just trying to gaslight him into telling me the truth, because one thing I know about him is he is a fucking liar. He was a fucking huge liar. So I just knew in my mind he was with some bitches. So anyways, I am trying to gaslight him. I'm trying to make him think that I know, which I really don't know anything. I'm just trying to get the information on him. So I'm like, I know you're with some bitches. How the fuck are you gonna lie to me? He's like, how the fuck do you even know I'm with them? Got you. After I got that, I'm like, okay, well, just leave me the fuck alone, whatever. And he's like, we're just friends. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, if you're just friends, then you need to leave right the fuck after you go bowling, right? You need to fucking leave right after you go bowling. He's like, okay, fine, I'll leave right after we go bowling. Text me, he's like, we're done bowling. I'm gonna go grab something to eat, and then I'm gonna go home. And I'm thinking to myself, where's the only place that he would go to eat in our city? Cookout. Got it. I text him, and I'm like, so now you're at Cookout with these bitches? Mind you, I don't even know he's at Cookout. Mind you, I have no idea he's even with the bitches. I literally have no idea. He's like, how the fuck do you know I'm with them? Why do you keep following me? How do you know where I am? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, I just know. I just know everything. Trust me. If it's to be known, I'm gonna know. Oh, he's like, oh, if you know so much, what color car am I in? I'm starting to think I'm lying, which I am, but I'm way better at this shit than he is. So I use my female intuition and I say blue, and some fucking how the car is blue. So then I know I've got him, because he's like, what the fuck are you doing? Why do you keep stalking me? Why do you keep watching me? Blah, 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 blah. All of this whole time, he's just fucking lying, and I'm just catching his little ass up. This is what I'm good at. I'm good at this part. So I'm like, you're a fucking liar. You're this, you're that, you're that. We get into this huge argument. And then I pull up to Cookout, because at first I was just trying to get some information, but now I'm stalking you and I'm doing too much. So now I need to show you what the fuck is up. I pull up to Cookout. I start following this blue car around. I don't even know if it's their car. I see 4 heads in the car, so I start following them around. So I pull up to Cookout. I start following this blue car. Mind you, I don't even know if it's their car. I just see 4 fucking heads in this fucking car. So I'm like, it's blue. There's 4 heads in the car. Good enough. So I start following this car. Then he texts me. He's like, can you stop following? Is that you behind me? Are you following us? Blah, 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 blah. He's literally losing his fucking mind, which I'm also low-key. I'm not even losing my mind, because we've been through this so many times. I know how this fucking game goes. So I just followed them around for a really long time, because honestly, I didn't even want to do anything. And I definitely didn't like want to cause any drama with the girls, because they're just minding their fucking business. My drama is with the man. I don't even give a fuck about them bitches. I'm more worried about that goddamn man. So I just wanted him to think I was really gonna pop up and act crazy. The whole time I was cool, calm, and collected. Never gave a fuck. But I just wanted his insides to be a little bit scared. And then when I felt like I truly got the upper hand on him, I just went home. And I did the whole, you're a liar, you're this, you're that, you're that. Honestly, I just like when I have the upper hand. That way, when I go to do something, they can't be that mad, because what you gonna do now? The whole time I never even really gave a fuck. I just wanted to prove to myself and to him that I knew that he was a liar. Sue me. Fuck.
Okay, so being that it was 1 year ago today, I guess I'll tell y'all the story of what happened. So, me and my ex decided to go to the bar together. Well, that's a bad idea to start, because, you know, he hated to see me happy. I couldn't smile, laugh, nothing. I couldn't speak, nothing. Like, it was done. He's about to set this whole place on fire. So we went to the bar. Mistake number 1. Yeah, I know. All right. Took my car, mind you. That's really important in this story. We were in my car. And, well, I'm playing pool, you know, because I love me some pool. I'll mess it up in pool. I'm playing pool, and he didn't want to play pool with me. But, okay, so his friend came with us. So it was me, him, and his friend. I don't even remember what his friend's name was. But, so his friend was playing pool with me because he didn't want to play. But he was fine with that. So I thought. So he's sitting there, we're all talking, you know, nothing serious. Well, here comes some other guys coming over wanting to play me because they saw, I think they could just, you know, I'm loud. Everybody knows whenever I'm there. So I think, whatever, they just want to play. So I was playing them in pool. Like, I was just playing everybody in pool. He didn't want to fucking play with me, mind you. I kept trying to tell him, come play, come be my partner. Like, something. No, he didn't want to. Okay, cool. So that's fine. I'm cool. We're cool. So then I don't even know what happens. The one guy's hitting on me. And I was like, no, that's my boyfriend over there. Like, shut the fuck up before he beats us all up. Let's not do that, okay? And he just kept on. So I was like, you know, obviously shutting it down. I'm not about to play with my life like that. Hell no. To the no. Even if not, just no, okay? So then I don't even know what happened, but at some point he started talking shit about me. My ex started talking shit about me to all of the guys in the bar. So now there's like everybody that was like sitting at the bar is kind of like sitting over at the table and like at the pool table, like, you know, just hanging out over in this area. So, and that's where we were at. So now he's talking shit about me to everybody there. Mind you, right before that, he took a video on my phone and sent it to everybody on my Snapchat about how I'm his wife and I'm so beautiful and he just loves me so much and this and that. Literally, right before this, I still have the video, okay? So he sent that video to everybody and then he decided to talk shit about me to everybody in the bar and he was like, y'all can fucking take her whore ass, like, fuck that bitch, she's gonna walk home, this and that, like, just talking so much shit about me. And I was like, what in the world? Like, what's happening? What's going on? So I'm like, okay, well, I'm already drunk. I'm about to get more drunk. I don't know. I'm about to cry. I'm about to get just drunk. I don't know. Like, what's happening? I literally didn't do anything. I'm not like that. Like, that's not, no. Oh my gosh. And he was talking so much shit about me. And everyone's just laughing. And he's like, literally to everybody at the bar, just saying how I'm such a whore and I'm such a bitch. And like, he doesn't even know why he's here with me. And he doesn't even know why he ever talked to me. And like, that I'm walking home. And that he's like, one of y'all can take her home. He's like, I'm not fucking taking that bitch home. Mind you, we're in my car. What the hell? So like, I was literally like, just not like speaking. I was like, okay. And then I like tried to go over there after everybody kind of like went away from the table. I went over there and I was like, why are you saying that? Like, what's happening? And he's like, get the fuck away from me, you fucking bitch. Like, fuck you. And I literally did nothing. Then he wanted to leave. Now he wants to go and he wants me to go with him. I was like, didn't you just tell everybody that you're not taking me home and that I'm a whore and I'm this and I'm that? And he's like, come the fuck on. He's like, I don't want to fucking play with you. And I didn't want to leave. So then he dragged me. He literally dragged me out the bar. Literally, he dragged me out the bar. And he took me home, cussed me out the whole way home. Literally pulled over, tried to fight his friend multiple times. It was bad. I was pretty drunk at that point because, you know. So I was super fucked up. And I was just laughing. I think that's what it was making it more mad. I don't know why I was playing with my life like that. Like, for real. Well, that was before he ever had, like, actually, like, beat me up. I don't know. I guess I just thought that he loved me too much to beat me up. I don't really know. But I was sitting in the passenger seat laughing. Because, like, why are you like, what's happening? Why are we fucking yelling right now? Why are you trying to fight your friend? Your friend didn't do anything. What the hell? Oh, yeah, I was trying to jump out of the car. Because I was so... I don't really know. I don't know how I was trying to jump out of the car. Yeah, that was 1 year ago today. Let me know if you want to see the video. I forgot to say that the reason that he got mad was because, like, guys were giving me attention and because, like, I looked good. I was like, you know, whatever. I posted the picture that's on my story right now. That was that night. That night that happened. That was that night. So he was just mad that, like, people were giving me attention and that people were, like, actually acknowledging my existence because he hated that shit. He wanted me to feel like I was the ugliest, worst thing to walk the earth. So, yeah.
This is why you guys should always be careful about who y'all invite into y'all's house. Get ready with me while I do a story time on how my friend called the cops to my house. So this all started about, I want to say it was a year ago. So it was me and my friend Stacy that they had literally just met at this time. through this girl. We're gonna call her Amy. I knew this girl Amy for like about, I want to say a year. Mind y'all, she had already done like, I guess, weird things in the past. I like kind of ignored it because I always like to see the good in people. A lot of people at school didn't like her, but I really didn't care. I was still like really cool with her. So I got introduced to Stacy as Amy's cousin. So I'm thinking the whole time like they're blood cousins, right? So we're like, oh, you know what? Like I just got my car. Like we should all go to downtown and ride some scooters. And I think I'd only been like once or twice before. So we're like, yes. Like I was telling Stacy, like it's so fun. Like we should definitely go. Like we can go to eat after. And my parents were out of town, so I was like, you know, we can go to my house after. Because I feel like my house was always like the house to go to like after. I don't know why. I always offered like, let's go to my house after. So they end up both agreeing to these plans, and I'm all like excited, you know. I'm like, yes, like I'm finally gonna have a girls' day, like let's go. The way up there, I'm driving, guys. Like I said, I had just got my car, so I'm driving up there, and you know, we're all having a good time. We're talking, we're laughing, everything is fun. We get there, we have to park at like the spot. We end up riding the scooters. Like we had a good old time. So time passes, we end up going to eat, and then it starts getting a little late. So I'm like, you know, guys, like we should probably go to my house. Like we all agreed, like let's go back to your house and we can like chill there, like make TikToks, like whatever. So we get to my house. Mind you, Amy has been to my house multiple times. This is Stacy's first time in my house. Like, oh, you know, we can hang out like over here in my room. Mind you, my mom and like no one was here. My Stacy and Amy end up getting on the bed. And the way my bed is, I have like one charger on the side of my bed on I want to say it's the left side. And Amy goes to sit right there. So she ends up sitting on the left side where the charger is, and she's like charging her phone there for a good, like, I want to say like about an hour passes. And I realized like my phone's about to die. So I'm like, hey, Amy, like, you know, can I use the charger? Can you like scoot over? And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, your phone's charged. Like, can I use the charger? Mind you, it's my charger. She scoot over, like, I want to lay on the bed with y'all. And she was like, no. And she like made it this big freaking deal, me asking to sit there and use the charger. So I'm like, this is weird. I know, like, she was always like the type to like act different when other people are around. Start sitting on the edge of the bed, like standing on the edge of the bed and charging my phone. And that's when she starts kicking me. And I'm like, and now it's not even funny because I'm just like, bro, like, get the fuck off me. Like, this is not even funny. Mind you, like I said, we had not been drinking or anything. So I'm just like, I don't know why she's acting like this. So even Stacy's like, bro, like, Amy, calm down. Like, you're doing too much. So I was telling Amy, like, bro, calm down. It's not that serious. Like, I'll just move or whatever. You're doing too much. So Amy ends up getting up and is like pissed off, and she grabs her phone and she goes into the restroom and she locks herself in there. And we're like talking, me and Stacy, and Stacy starts telling me like, I don't know why she's acting like this. And she was like, you know, we're like not even cousins, right? And I'm like, bro, are you kidding? And she's like, no, like, I'm serious, like, we're not blood cousins. I don't know why she started saying that. I started overhearing her on the phone, like, calling guys, because the girl is boy crazy. She's calling guys, like, telling them, like, to pick her up. So we're, like, hearing. And even the people that she's calling are literally like, bro, like, are you dead ass right now? Like, that's why you're mad? Like, they're just telling her, like, she's in the wrong. And then she started getting mad. She's like, bro, like, come and fucking pick me up and this and that. And I'm at this point, like, telling Stacy, like, bro, like, we can't let her leave, like, because I know how her mom is. Like, I let her come here to my house, and then if her mom calls her and she's not answering, and then she's like, where are you at? And, like, now it's on me because I let her leave my house with some guy. Like, what if, you never know what these guys are like, because mind you, this girl meets them off dating apps. Like, she doesn't even know them. So I'm like, come on, Stacy, like, let's hide her stuff because I don't want her leaving. Like, let's hide her bag so she can't leave. Maybe that was bad on my part, but I was just trying to be a friend because I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble. And then her mom calls my mom, you know, like, and then it's like a whole thing. We start hiding her stuff, right? And I put it in my sister's room, which is like right next door to mine. I'm trying to apologize to her, even though it wasn't even my fault why she's crashing out. And she's like, bro, leave me alone, like I don't give a fuck, like I'm leaving. And no one mind you, no one ended up wanting to pick her up. And she called like, I want to say like 10 guys. So she starts asking Stacy like, can you take me home, like take me home. And Stacy's like, no bro, like this is my first time here and you're doing this, like we're supposed to have a sleepover. She's like, Alexis already apologized to you, like what else do you want, like you can sleep in the living room if you want, like you're causing a scene for no reason over. And she was like, bro, like no, like I don't care, like I don't want to be here and this and that. And she's like, okay, well I'm not taking you home, like that's that, I'm not taking you home. And she was like, okay, then I'll fucking walk. And girl, I'm not letting you walk. So then I was like, bro, you're not walking. And she's like, bro, like she starts looking for her stuff then, and she's like she starts crashing out. She's like, bro, where the fuck is my shit at? Literally starts opening my stuff, like throwing my stuff everywhere, saying, trying to look for her stuff, but like literally like making my room look like a mess, y'all. Like it was so bad. And I was telling her, stop bro, stop, like no, chill, like quit throwing my stuff around in my room, like literally. Go to part 2 so I can finish this, y'all. Sorry this is long.
Hey guys, get ready with me while I tell you guys things my ex did and I still stayed. And he was kind of like a boyfriend from hell, so like these things are like bad, bro. Okay, so we're gonna start off strong. But one of the things he did was that he actually was talking about cracking other girls in front of me or to me. Yeah. Like sometimes he would just like be talking to me and then he'd just be like, oh, I want to crack that girl. And I mean, I would always like give him like a weird look, but he'd just be like, oh, I'm trolling. Don't take anything I say seriously. Be so for real. And one time I literally caught this man talking to one of his homeboys in front of me and was talking about how he was gonna crack, or he wanted to crack this one girl. And basically was just saying all this like really nasty stuff like you should never say about a girl. And yeah, he was just saying all that in front of me. Like even his homeboy was like looking at me like are you hearing this right now? Like it was to the point where his homeboy came up to me after and was like, yo, did you like hear what he was saying and stuff like that? Yeah, bro, it was so bad. Okay, number 2 is that he would make jokes like, oh, I have another girlfriend, like those types of jokes. But when I would make those jokes, he would actually just hang up on me and not talk to me. Like we would be on the phone and this man would literally just be like joking. Like I said earlier, like he loves to troll, so like he would just be like, oh my gosh, my other girlfriend just texted me or something like that. And then in like return, like I would just be like, oh my gosh, my boyfriend like just texted me, like making the same joke. And he would get all mad at me and literally just hang up the phone and be like, yeah, go talk to your boyfriend. And yeah, and he just ended up mad at me until like I had to like apologize over and over again. So yeah, basically he could have made jokes like that, but I couldn't make jokes like that. So okay, the next one like gets me like really mad. So okay, so basically on Thanksgiving he said he was thankful for a whole nother girl instead of me. Like I'm being so for real, like he literally tagged this whole other girl and was like, I'm thankful for you, stuff like that. And actually I guess he did kind of address me, but it was literally just an Instagram note. Like on his Instagram note he literally just put, I'm thankful for all my girlfriends. And then later that day he proceeds to get mad at me because I didn't put him on my story saying I was thankful for him. So yeah, like he basically just ruined my Thanksgiving. So yeah. Okay, next. He was overly jealous of my homeboy for some reason. Like every single time my homeboy would come around me and like just have a simple friendly conversation with me, he would get mad at me and wouldn't talk to me, ignore me the whole day, and just be mad at me. And I had to constantly reassure him that my homeboy was literally just a friend to me and that I literally didn't want my homeboy. So I had to constantly reassure him about my homeboy. And you're probably like, well, why does he have to question it so much? literally me and my homeboy will literally just be having a simple conversation. Actually, conversations about my homeboys, like little fine shit. And he still questions it. Like, bro, we're literally having a whole conversation about who my homeboy has a crush on, and you're still thinking that my homeboy likes me. Like, get out of my face, bro. Next, his repost would be full of girls. Like, I'm not even joking, bro. And like on Instagram, by the way, reposting on Instagram is OD, but like I'd look at his Instagram reposts, bro, they're just full of girls. And I'm not joking when I tell you this. There was one time he put on his Instagram note that he wanted an Asian. Mind you, I'm nowhere near Asian, so like, and there was this one time where he was screen sharing, and I guess like he sent a reel to his homeboy that like of an Asian, and he said that he wanted an Asian, and even his homeboy like clocked it and was like, don't you have a girl? Right, that's what I thought too. So, and there was actually this one time we were on the phone and he told me that he wished I was Asian. He literally said, I wish you were Asian. Like, I genuinely, like, on the phone, I literally had to take a deep breath and was like, there's no way you just said that to me. Said that you wish I looked like something else. Like, oh my gosh. And you know what's crazy is that this, like, all this, and I still wasn't the person that broke up with him. Mind you, he broke up with me. Oh, and another thing, like, this isn't technically when we were together, but like, in the process of breaking up with me, when he was breaking up with me, he lied to me. He said he was breaking up with, oh my gosh, sorry, I can't talk, but he said that there was this specific reason he was breaking up with me, right? And it was understandable, and yeah, but then comes to find out a day later, for some reason he told my homegirl that he lied to me. Like, not as my homegirl's gonna tell me, but he told my homegirl that it was for a completely different reason and that he lied to me. And apparently the reason he broke up with me was because that he only dates to date and he doesn't date to marry. So when I told him I date to marry, he said that he found it stupid and that there was no point in us dating if we had different like views or something like that. Like, genuinely, like, just get out of my face at this point. Like, just get out of my face. And after we broke up, he was still talking about, oh, like, I'll let you know when I'm ready so we can try again for a third time, because he said, quote unquote, third time's a charm. So, yeah. Like, bro, who does he think I am, bro? You is not getting another chance, bro. He genuinely thinks that we're gonna try again. Like, no, bro, like, you're cooked. Like, you're done. You're gone, bro. Okay, I'm basically done getting ready now. Let me know if you guys want a part 2, because I'm sure there's more things I can think about that he did. But moral of the story is if your man acts like this, get rid of him immediately. Like, block him. Just get rid of him, bro. But yeah, bye guys.
Should I break up with my boyfriend? Let me tell you the predicament I'm in. It all starts with his ex. We'll call her Tina. So what you need to know about Tina is that Tina was his first love. They dated for like 4 years. They were their first everything, you know. And we start dating. I'm not his second. I'm not his third. I'm like his fourth girlfriend, I think. Anyways, the issue starts when he goes to Fire Island for a weekend. And so he's there, and I know she like lives there or she works there or some shit, I don't know. But basically, he didn't mention to me that he saw her there. But I found out because she had texted him. Like, I saw a text from her that was like, oh, I can't wait for this to be over. I just want to go to bed. So I was like, what is she talking about? Did you guys see each other? He's like, oh, we stumbled upon each other. And then later that night, there was like a storm. And like, our boats were like near each other, and she was saying like she wanted the storm to be over so she'd go to bed or some shit. I don't think anything iffy happened there because like he was with his family, and I just think it was weird that he didn't tell me about it. So that kind of bothered me. This whole situation, I don't think he ever cheated on me. I just don't understand why he's sneaky about things. So basically that was the first thing. Then the second thing, I'm like, okay, so from that moment on, I don't play about this chick. Like, you know what I mean? So we're in his car one day, and I'm on his phone for some music. I'm controlling the aux. And he gets a snap from her. Whatever, it's just like a streak thing. And I see that they've maintained their streak all these years. So I'm like, okay. And then just out of curiosity, I'm like, what other things, like, do they remain the same since this relationship? He still had her birthday marked on his calendar, and they were still sharing locations. So I brought it up at dinner, because we were on the way to dinner, and I was like, why? And he's like, oh, like, we just never stopped sharing it, like, ever since we dated, you know, and we grew up like childhood friends, so we never stopped sharing. And I'm like, none of your ex-girlfriends ever called you out on this? He's like, no. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't like it, so stop. So he stopped the streak, and he stopped sharing his location, whatever. He didn't really put up a fight about it. And I was like, you don't think it's weird? He was like, I could see how you might think it's weird, but like, I honestly forgot we were sharing locations or whatever. So I was like, okay. Next thing that happens, it's his birthday yesterday. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, did anyone text you today that like we wouldn't want texting you? Because listen, people are gonna slide into your birthdays every year. Like, everyone has had people try and be like, happy birthday, to get back in their lives. So I asked him, because I'm just curious. I'm not even looking for an issue. I'm just curious. I'm like, he's like, no. And I'm like, are you sure? He's like, well, this one girl. And he names a girl, like, he had told me he messed with a little bit. And I was like, bro, you know, I wasn't mad or anything. Why would I be mad that somebody texted you happy birthday, you know? Whatever. I'm on his phone. I'm not looking through it. I was on it for like, I think he got like a snap or something. So I went to open it, and then it closed, and I saw in his recent snaps, Tina. So I'm like, I didn't bring it up because it was his birthday. I waited until after midnight. I'm so polite. But I'm like, why didn't you tell me she wished you happy birthday? And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what do you mean what I'm talking about? Like, I saw. And he's like, oh, well, I didn't want you to get mad. I was like, why would I get mad that somebody texted you first? You know what I mean? Like, I was like, now I'm mad because it feels like you're hiding something. And it was on Snap too. I'm like, now I'm like in my head that you guys had a conversation or something, and I'll never know because it's on fucking Snap. Like, why wouldn't she text you or some shit? Like, what the fuck? Whatever. So then I get home that night, and that's like pretty much it. But another detail that's interesting, anytime like I bring it up, I'm like, whatever. I bring it up, and he's like, well, you don't have to worry because she has a boyfriend. Like, I have you and she has a boyfriend, and even if we weren't dating, nothing would happen, like, you know. So I go stalking. No boyfriend found on any socials, not even on Visco, which is like, if the girls want to hide their boyfriend, he's gonna be on Visco. No, there's no man. She has no boyfriend. You're a liar. Why are you lying? And then it also bothers me because, like, when we first started dating, I told him, I was like, I don't like the fact that you follow your ex-girlfriends. Like, you follow a lot of women. But it bothers me that you follow your ex-girlfriends. So he unfollowed them all except Tina. Except Tina. Okay. And there's one more detail that is a little toxic on my part, but I will tell you guys. I went through this one night. I shouldn't have done it. I know. I apologize for it. I confessed. But what I discovered was that before me, so he told me that before me, he was on and off with this girl for like 2 years, and he never dated her. Like, he never actually wanted her to be his boyfriend, his girlfriend, like, which is just an awful situation, and he did her so dirty. I mean, in the end, she slapped the dog shit out of him, so whatever. But basically, I found out that when I asked him, like, oh, who was the last person you had been with? He said that girl. No, it was Tina. He's also been on and off with Tina for the year prior to us. He's got mad texts being like telling his friends or something, oh, I'm at Tina's house. Oh, I'm heading over to Tina's. Like, oh, Tina isn't a relic of the past. So it just bothers me because she knows you have a girlfriend, right? Or at least I would hope she does. And she wished you happy birthday, and you responded, right? But also, like, if I know that you guys were hooking up before, so now it just kind of feels like she's just kind of waiting again. Like, the dick is not even that good, girl. And she's a gymnast. Like, oh, also one time, I was like, I want to be, like, I want you to be honest, because I'm kind of curious. I'm like, how was, like, your sex life? Okay, this is, like, a weird question, but I was like, how was, like, the sex with people before? Like, was it good? Was it bad? You know, like, just curious. And he was like, oh, well, you know, this girl was like whatever, this girl was whatever. And then when he brought up Tina, he was like, and she's like really flexible, like she was a gymnast. Okay, I didn't ask for all that. I don't know if I completed the last thought or not, but that basically sums it up. He hasn't like really done anything, but I don't know. Like, and I've expressed to him multiple times that like the situation makes me a little uncomfy, and I was telling my friend, I was like, she was like, oh, it's just disrespectful and like he doesn't care. I'm like, I think he cares, I just don't think he cares enough. Like, when a man really loves his woman, like, some shit like that would never happen. Never. He would never create a space for doubt, uncertainty, like insecurity. Never. So
Hey guys, so it's been 9 months since my breakup, and I just found out that I got cheated on and I got left for someone else. Okay, so let me specify. I did know that he had a rebound after our relationship. I suspected it because right after we broke up is when he started following her on all social media platforms, and I suspected it, but I never said anything about it. I didn't look for him. I just considered the breakup, and that's it. When he came back, it was confirmed to me that they had slept together and that they had hooked up, this and that. So it was confirmed to me. But he was downplaying what he had done to me so that I would accept him back into my life. By downplaying, I mean this man would tell me that it started after our relationship. He only went to her to cope because he didn't know how to deal with my loss. He didn't cheat on me. He would never cheat on me. And that he respected me during the time that we were together. That's what I was told continuously for the past, ever since June, that's what I've been told. Anyway, let me give you the story of how we broke up. Well, how I got broken up with. So this dates back to March. I want to say either March 17th, 16th, or 18th. I think it was March 17th. I had just gotten back from a trip, and he came over to my house, and we had been doing really bad. There had been no type of communication between us. There had been no type of... It was just like there was a lot of tension between us, and our relationship was quite literally falling apart. I come back from my trip, and he wants to come over. He comes over, and he comes literally for like 10 minutes. He eats dinner with us, and then he asked me, hey, can I go out with my friends? We're going to go to a bar. Mind you, we had just turned 21, so this was all new to me. I didn't know how to react. I never put myself in this situation where I was like, what am I going to say if he wants to go without me? So in the moment, I just didn't know what to say, but the only thing I could say was, we are arguing right now, and you're thinking about going out with your friends to a bar rather than staying here and fixing this problem. And honestly, that's when I should have just stood up and been like, you know what, get out of my house and we're done. But I didn't. Anyways, so I do say, like, you're really gonna leave me crying right now because you want to go out to a bar right now. And he actually tried to guilt me, and he said, fine, I'm not gonna go. I'm just gonna go home, and I'm not gonna go out because you're crying and I'm gonna feel bad. He is a horrible liar, so I knew that he wasn't gonna go home, or I knew that if he was gonna go home, he was going to go out. So as soon as he left my house, I did what I do best and I fell asleep for hours because I was so sad. And when I finally wake up at like 12 a.m., I check my phone and there's no notifications, no texts, no messages, no calls, no nothing, no updates from him. And I didn't have his location because he made sure to take it off before he left my house. So I have never been the crazy girlfriend. I have never been the psycho girlfriend. I don't do anything to make myself seem that way, but this night was the first night that it really unleashed because he didn't text me and I was freaking out. I was like, okay, I know he went out, and I literally felt in my gut like something was happening. And I texted him and I was like, hey, are you out with your friends? Because I feel like you are. I called him, he would not answer, and I sent text after text after text. Hey, answer me, please. Just tell me that you went out and I'll leave you alone. Just let me know you're fine and I'll leave you alone. He did not answer once. Not once. And I started figuring out. I called. I don't even know how many times. I don't remember anymore, but I called a good amount of times. I texted a good amount of times, and I went to sleep crying that night. He did not answer my call once. He answered my text, but all he was saying was that I was acting crazy, that I was being annoying, that I was losing control, that I've never acted like this, that he was done with me, that I just needed to give him space and I wasn't even respecting him. I said, if you don't answer your phone, I'm going to consider this night as you cheating because you know what I'm assuming and you're not trying to fix it. Therefore, I'm going to assume you're cheating. I'm going to hold this against you if you don't answer. And if you don't answer, then that's on you, like for future reference. We all know how the rest of the night went. He did not answer me once, and he did not call me, and he did not share his location. So I went to sleep bawling my eyes out. The next morning, I wake up and I continue to call him. I continue to text him, and he's basically telling me, like, I'm literally still asleep. I'm right next to my friend. Like, I slept over at his house. I didn't even do anything wrong. Like, you're making all these assumptions, and I'm not even doing anything. He ended up leaving back to his house. His house is on the way to my house, but he said he didn't want to see me. He was going to see me when he was ready. He didn't want to be around me, and that I was acting crazy. I bawled my eyes out because what the heck? This is my boyfriend treating me like the worst thing ever. Treating me like I'm his biggest enemy. Long story short, we go like the rest of the day goes by, and I called him later at night after work, and I told him, like, can I please come over? Can I please come watch a movie? Like, can we please talk this out? He said no to everything. He rejected all my attempts, and I was like, wait, I'm literally his girlfriend. His parents love me. I'm just gonna show up with my clothes and we're gonna fix this. Like, what do you mean? So this was at the end of the day. I went back home, I got my clothes, and I showed up at his house, and I was just like, we're gonna talk this out. And he hated that I showed up. He said that it was a lack of respect for his boundaries, and that I was really pushing it, and that I wasn't respecting him, and this and that. I genuinely believed this. I was like, okay, maybe I am acting crazy. Maybe I am wrong for doing this. And honestly, okay, hold on. That night did not go any better. He brushed me off the whole night. He didn't talk to me. He didn't want to talk to me. And all I got out of him was, I know that you're wifey material. I know that you're worth everything. You're perfect. But I don't think I can see us together. And I don't think I can see a future with us together. Then he tried to force me to give him. By force, I mean literally pushing my head down as I was bawling my eyes out. Trying to fix our relationship, trying to make him see my worth, trying to, like, get to him, trying to say the right things to pull at him. He was pushing my head down while I was in tears. The next morning, I wake up, he wakes up, and I have to leave, right? Because I have to go to work. But I'm telling him, like, can we please fix this? Can we please... Basically the same thing. No, we can't fix this. My mind is set. I can't do this anymore. I know what I want, and it's not this. I'm out of this relationship. There's nothing left for me here. may I add, I forgot to add this part, but he had removed me off of Instagram a week prior to this. And then on Monday, he had began following on Instagram. He had began following his coworker. Tuesday, the next day, he started following her on TikTok. And I think that played a big part as to why I was freaking out and why I showed up and why I decided to show up and sleep there was because I was like, wait, so are you leaving me for another girl? And I asked this continuously, even when he was pushing my head down, even when I was like trying to fix it, literally, and every time I was just like, is there another girl? Like, just tell me there's another girl. Tell me you're leaving me for another girl, and I will literally drop this because I don't see why I need to stay here fighting for this if there's no other girl. But if there's not another girl, then I will stay here and fight for this because it's worth it. Not once, every single time that I asked, it was, no, there's not another girl. I'm too busy to even have another girl. I would never even focus. I would never leave you for another girl. I would not cheat on you. I would not this and that. Like, anyways, this was all kind of context for the breakup, but I feel like that was so important to tell you guys because ever since then, I've genuinely believed, like, okay, he's not leaving me for another girl. He didn't leave me for another girl. So this is just related to how hurt he is, how avoidant he is, how he doesn't like to deal with things. I have been in that mindset for the past 9 months, and when this was confirmed that he did leave me for someone else, it just, like, it makes me so angry to look back at these things. But anyway, there's gonna need to be multiple parts to this because I cannot get the rest of this in. So part 1 is done.
Okay, well, that's interesting. You know why?
Why?
Because
Get ready with me while I tell you how my brother-in-law, my 57-year-old disabled mom, forensic specialists that will come in and they'll like testify on your behalf. Like, oh my gosh, they are amazing, and I cannot tell you how much they will fight for you as much and as hard as you need them to. They'll do everything in their power to help you, and I love them. They are so amazing. So I contacted them the month before the trial, of course. Like, they would have been nice to have, you know, even while my mom was still alive. Because, yeah, it was hard. It was hard. So before the trial, they have a thing called pre-trial conferences. And during this pre-trial conference, it's like mostly attorney talk. Like, you have the state prosecutors who are like arguing on my mom's behalf, and then you have obviously his attorney. Well, he had the chief deputy public defender. So he had like the very top public defender that you could possibly have. Yeah, you'll know why that's funny later. But anyways, yeah, so during this, there was like things that they wanted to leave out. Like, they wanted to leave out my mom's alcohol use, because it doesn't matter whether my mom was a drinker or not. This still happened to her, and it doesn't change it. Like, my mom didn't deserve it because she's a drinker, you know? So there was no reason to bring it up in trial. Obviously, like, day of and night of, if my mom was drinking, they had every right to talk about that in the trial. But any, like, past usage wasn't going to be brought up. Like, that's all that the prosecutors had asked to be excluded from the trial. And the public defender wanted to keep out the body cam footage of my brother-in-law because basically snitched on himself. And he denied the DNA test. Which, why are you denying a DNA test if you didn't freaking do it, right? So yeah, they wanted that excluded, and they also wanted the fact that my mom passed away excluded. And which I was watching from my laptop because we can watch like live court case. Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, so my blood is boiling. I'm like yelling at my laptop screen, and the prosecutor is like saying everything that I'm thinking in my head, like, no, we have to figure out a way to tell the jury that she's not here for a reason. Like, if not, it's just gonna look like she didn't care enough to show up. And like, if she don't care, then why should the jury care to convict him or not? Or it could look like she was like coerced into not going or threatened into not going. And they said that that could look bad on him as well. And the public defender said that my mom died of cancer, which is not true, and that that would pull at a lot of heartstrings, because cancer is a very relatable disease, and that's something that the jury could relate to, losing people to cancer, which, yeah, that's sad if it were true, you know, about my mom having cancer, not of the jury people having, yeah, anyways, y'all get what I'm saying. Yeah, so, oh, I was so angry about that, but in the end, it all worked out. There was other things that was said during that really freaking made me mad, and if you guys want, like, a full in-depth video of, like, everything to do with, like, the trial, the pre-trial conference, I can go more into detail about Raindrops Rising, which I probably will, because they definitely need to be heard about. So that concluded, and next was preparing for the trial, which was only a few weeks away, and I was going to be my mom's voice in this trial. And I had kind of done that to myself. I had, you know, when my mom passed away, I was calling the prosecutors. I was calling the state prosecutor. I was calling victims' assistants, telling them, like, I want him prosecuted. This needs to happen. Anything you guys can do in your power to make it happen, please, please fight for my mom. And a year prior to this, the state prosecutor actually handled my sister's case, because the same thing happened to my sister a year before it happened to my mom. And so he already knew my family. So he took this case personally. And I love him for that. He ended up being, something ended up happening with his schedule. So he passed it on to two of the prosecutors that he handpicked, like, and he knew that they would take care of my mom's case. So that was amazing. He did ended up showing up, to the trial, and like sat in the back and was like cracking jokes, like, about the, like, the opposing side, to my family, like, in the, yeah, anyways, he was great. Anyways, so I was like preparing for the trial. Raindrops Rising had gotten me, like, me and my husband, kind of like, what do you call that? It's kind of like a Zoom video to tell us, like, do's and don'ts, and like, what to do if we start to get, like, overwhelmed, or, you know, just basically how to act during the trial. And that was helpful. So it was me who testified, my husband who testified against his own brother, my neighbor, my mom's best friend, who she had told what happened to her before she told me, and then, like, the detectives and the SANE nurse and a couple other people, I think a fireman, because the firemen show up with the ambulance, the crime scene photographer showed up, and they all testified. Yeah, so in the end, the jury found him guilty. And that was one of the most bittersweet moments of my entire life. Like, I was overcome with relief, and it was like the one last thing that I could do for my mom and do for her memory. So that was, it was a huge weight off my shoulders. Yeah, it was also sad because my mom wasn't here to see herself get justice. Yeah, but it was healing being able to fight for my mom. And I promised her that I would do that. I promised her I would fight for her. And I did. I did with everything in my freaking power. And I had a whole army behind me. That whole courtroom was full. And it was amazing. And my mom would have been so happy to see all the support that she had. So yeah, so they found him not guilty. And the judge went ahead and scheduled the sentencing for July 1st. Which was almost 2 years to the date that she was R-worded. It was right before my birthday, which was my first birthday without my mom. So yeah, I read my victim impact statement, which I can also do in another video if you guys would like to hear it. And that was healing, and just being able to look him in the face. Because I tried not to during the trial, just to stay composed. You know, I didn't want to get angry or, yeah. And then my husband also did a victim impact statement, and I can also read that one. Yeah, he decided that he didn't want to say anything for himself during the trial or the sentencing, which, why wouldn't you defend yourself? We know why. And he ended up getting sentenced to the max sentence in Indiana for a level 3 felony, which was 16 years. So it was the outcome that I wanted. And I am so glad and so thankful for the Elkhart County Victims Assistance resource. Also the prosecutors, all 3 that handled my mom's case. I'm sure there were more. And I'm thankful for the judge for seeing through all that bullshit. And I'm thankful for Raindrops Rising for supporting me. And yeah. So after, you know, everything was said and done, and, you know, obviously it felt healing and it felt relief, but it's also like, since my mom had passed away, like, that's what I focused most of my attention to instead of my grief. I mean, I grieved, but it was a good distraction, as horrible as that is. I was able to, like, redirect some of my, like, pain and my anger towards that even more. So when it was all, like, said and done, I kind of crashed a little. I'm like, okay, I did that, and that's nice. And now I'm, like, having to heal without a distraction. So it's been a journey. And if you would like to hear about all of that too, I would be more than willing to share it. I have a lot of stories, a lot about trauma and healing and growth. So if there's any more, like, stories that you guys want to hear with my Get Ready With Me's. I also forgot to add that after the sentencing was all said and done, I had reached out to a few news stations as well as my local newspaper, and I told them my mom's story. And my local newspaper had released an article on my mom, and then later released a second, and then one of my bigger local news stations had released an article as well. And then with the help of Raindrops Rising, they had reached out with a state representative, Maureen Bauer, and she actually released a press release to all of the Indiana stations, and that got my mom's story on the radio. And I also did a news interview with one of my local news stations, so I could also post that if you'd like to see. And also in January, I'm going to be testifying at the House of Representatives on behalf of, I believe it's Bill 91, it might be 92, by Senator Dan Grwntok. He basically is presenting a bill that will prevent sex offenders from, you know, getting good time credit, because here in Indiana, there's, I don't know what it is, but basically that people who are sent to prison can get their sentences cut in half for good behavior. So instead of my brother-in-law serving 16 years, he, if he has good behavior, he can get out in 8. So it would prevent them from being able to do that. It would also prevent them from taking plea bargains, which is a really good thing. That means if they plead guilty, that they would have to serve like more time than being able to either get off scot-free, like just getting probation, or, you know, they would just get lengthier sentences, which is a good thing. And this is a crucial baby step needed here in Indiana to raise the maximum sentences for sex offenders and pedos here in Indiana, which is obviously important because a level 3 felony like my brother-in-law got, the maximum sentence is only 16 years, and with that good time behavior he only has to serve 8, and that is max. Obviously there's more if like the person was battered or if there was a which my mom was not. She was bruised, but he didn't like physically haul off and just, you know, so yeah, it's exciting and it's scary, but I'm really thankful to be a part of it, and I get to share my mom's story, which is what this is all about, which is what the news was all about, you know, and that's really important to me. So yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for the future. I'm hopeful it'll go better. Yeah, if you would like to hear more story times, please let me know.